Welcome back to SEGA News Bits. I'm your host, George, with the Judge Eyes, and with me is Detective Barry.
Objection.
Yes, we're going to be talking about courtroom drama, or at least we haven't seen any courtroom drama yet, but SEGA has announced a brand new game by the Yakuza Studios team. This one's called Judge Eyes, or Project Judge, depending on where you live. In Japan, it's being called Judge Eyes, but it seems to be a working title for now. And they even have a little subtitle over there, and it's called Shin Megami no Yuagion? I can't. My Japanese is terrible, obviously. I haven't been to Japan in a couple of months, guys, so please, yeah, I know. Please, guys.
Yeah, right.
So it's going to cost 8,290 yen. It's going to come out December 13th in Japan, Asia, and Korea. We already got an English story trailer and a gameplay trailer. It was revealed at the PlayStation event in America. So this is going to be a worldwide title. It's going to be a big title for Sega. Sega's really going to try to push this game. So first complaint that I've seen people online is basically this game is a lot like Yakuza, which we'll get into in a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about the characters. The first character we have is Takayuki Yagami. This guy is a private detective. He has to get back a client who was, I guess, charged for murder and is charged for murder again. And I guess he has to try to pull off the biggest case in the world, try to get this guy off again. And he has, like, they've only shown the cast of characters that work with him so far. And you can see those in the trailer. Outside of that, the only thing I really noticed that was interesting about this game, and I talked to Barry about this offline, is that the game is taking a big stance on, like, death and God. Like, so the main character's last name is Yagami, which means either 8 or God in Japanese, and is also the last name of the Death Note character, Light Yagami. And they're using the name Shin Megami, which means basically Reaper or Death, in the title. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of things about people dying, you know, these cases being, I guess, bigger than they should be, where Yakuza, it seems like you go up and you just punch people in the face, and that's it. They just lay around and everybody's doing crime. There's no big repercussions. I feel like this is probably going to take more of a darker tone in the story than we're being at least led. Because, I mean, the main story trailer looks pretty dark, but the gameplay trailer is like totally polar opposite. So what are your opinions on what we've seen so far of this game, Barry?
Your Honor, my client here clearly thinks that this game is pretty cool looking. I was originally, because, you know, these things are announced at crazy hours for us, and so I logged on this morning and I saw people posting it, and I was like, what the hell is this? Is this Shin Yakuza? And it's not. It's kind of hard to explain, because I've seen people online going, well, what is this? And I see people saying kind of erroneously, oh, it's the new Yakuza spinoff. And I think that kind of works for the game, because at first I was like, it looks like a new Yakuza game but without the title. And I think that helps it. What are your thoughts on the fact that it's not like Binary Domain, where it looks completely different?
I mean, I think the first thing I've heard people complain about is that the art style is like very Yakuza-ish. Even the fighting, it's obviously in the Dragon engine.
Yeah.
It's sort of the way that Capcom uses the MT engine in all their games, or most of their games. I think it's nice because I think it gives you a sense of company, I guess. Like, when you watch Devil May Cry 5 and then you watch Resident Evil 7, yeah, deep down you know that they're running on the same engine. But I think the major complaint is the look, right? The gameplay, the fighting and stuff.
Right.
I think we need to see more about that. I think using that gameplay is fine. I can see why people are complaining, though. People were thought that when Nagashi said, I'm doing a brand new IP from the ground up that is nothing like you played before, I think that led to a lot of people thinking like, oh, maybe this is like a totally brand new game, because like if you see his history, he went from Daytona to Super Monkey Ball to like Spike Out, and then he made Yakuza. And it seems like after he done Yakuza, he's been kind of like not really want to get out of that shell. So I don't know. I think this is like a half step. I agree with them, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I really like Yakuza games. I just feel like we played enough of Kazuma Kiryu, enough of gangs.
Yeah.
And having to play as a lawman or at least a private detective that's bordering the gray scale. Like you could jump over the line, right, and be a bad guy. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with this game resembling Yakuza's gameplay style, because I feel like, you brought up, how this is the studio's kind of look. With Sonic Team for a while, a lot of their games, even when they created a new IP, it kind of felt like it was still within the same world and the same sort of gameplay style, like Rystar or Rister, and all the Sonic spin-offs, Nights into Dreams, I'm trying to think, Billy Hatcher, like, they were new IPs, but you'd play them and you're like, oh, this is kind of like Sonic Adventure. This is kind of like the Sonic Jam 3D areas. And with this, like, I think it's smart because, to bring up another franchise, Shenmue, when they were developing Free, I really think they wanted that to take on its own genre, and then we'd see other games set in that sort of, maybe not engine so much as gameplay style. And here they're actually doing it. And I could easily see it, another franchise even within the Yakuza universe.
It also seems like they're really pushing this to be more mature. They're even saying they're going to, quote, create enjoyable games that address mature themes with this title. And they do say that it's going to be a courtroom drama, but we haven't seen any courtroom stuff yet. I feel like a lot of people are judging this game based on the little things. I think this is just a teaser, and it seems like a long teaser because it's like a 5-minute trailer for the story. But I feel like the courtroom is going to be what changes the game up, maybe. I understand that the gameplay, like the fighting, is like Yakuza, but like a lot of games do this, and a lot of people forget that probably a lot of their favorite games they play are very much alike, like each other, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. All these 3 games have almost the same. Well, they change up the gameplay, but they're a lot alike from each other. And I think this is what they're doing.
Resident Evil and Dino Crisis.
Exactly, and there's a lot of franchises that do this, and they change it up, doing other things inside the world. They just keep the core elements that people enjoyed, and that's a good thing. I think people need to wait and see. And there's already a demo in the PlayStation Store in Japan if you want to play this game. We haven't downloaded it here because I just barely have enough time to record this, but I want to play it soon, just to walk around, not take it seriously. And we're gonna get a Western demo, I've heard, in 2019. So we are gonna have to sadly wait. This game is apparently gonna launch in Japan, Asia, and Korea in December 13th already. Are you surprised about that?
I'm super surprised. First, I'm surprised that we got an international announcement on the same day, and then the fact that the demo's on the same day, and then they're like, oh, and it's coming out in December in Japan. Like, that's insane.
Like, one thing I don't understand is how this team works. Like, this is the hardest working team at SEGA. Like, you gotta admit, like, even if you don't like Yakuza games, you don't like anybody that works at these studios, you gotta understand that these guys are hardworking. They did Kiwami's. I mean, they did Zero, Kiwami, Kiwami 2. They did 6. They launched that new engine. Now they're doing this game?
And they're doing Shin Yakuza.
And, of course, and they did the
and
Yakuza
Fist of the
Online,
North Star.
And Fist of the North. It's crazy, dude. Like, we're forgetting how many games they're making. And then they're doing the remakes of 3, 4, and 5. God damn it. We have a lot of Yakuza in the future.
We sure do.
So that's our opinion on the new Yakuza Studios video game, Project Just. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you going to download the demo? Let us know. And if you want to support this channel, check out our new Patreon contest we have going on. We're giving away a deck of cards of Yakuza with a Goro Majima eye patch. It would be perfect to play this demo with. Check it out in the details below. See you guys in the next video. Peace.